Are we good? We're on the internet, everybody.
Yep.
We are late. Our apologies, but 2 of our crew have done the moving of the houses and have been dealing with the associated life struggles therein.
So much fun.
Says Christian's forehead.
Yes.
Yes. Just the forehead.
Nick is dealing with some of the minutiae associated with moving and is now like driving to and fro. He'll be with us as soon as he can, but in the meantime, we shall proceed.
Yep.
So, when last we saw the crew of the Gloved Molotov, I need to actually press some buttons and make some cool sounds happen because I like having sounds. They were scarpering, as one does, away from the planet of Papadias, the dominion of the unbreaked artificial intelligence known as DOTAC. During that time, Dr. Charles took it upon himself to take an astonishing amount of regalia and unlock within him breathtaking new powers. But his excessive use of these powers came at a cost, and he found that not only did he shatter most of the bones in his arms and legs, he also, on the come down, was not able to effectively heal himself, showing that if he overuses regalia too much, his psychic powers aren't as functional immediately afterwards. So, to deal with the immense amount of pain his body was about to experience after the adrenaline wore off, Dr. Lucy put him into a coma. A day after that, he woke up. Not from the coma, that's still going on, but his mind is active and is able to float around his body inside the ship. Unfortunately, this incorporeal state he's in doesn't really interact very well with conventional matter, and he's had some very humorous encounters with keyboards, floors, pipes, and other such things that shouldn't be messed with. But he was able to use his psychic proclivity with Molly to reach out and say, "Hey, Molly, help me, please. I need to speak to somebody." And so he did, and the party were able to converse. Speaking of conversing, there was somewhat of an intense interaction that occurred between the crew as they chose to discuss the topic of, we have a shuttle from DOTAC on the ship now, and he wants us to do something with it. Are we going to do the thing or not? And after a shaky resolution of agreeing to disagree came about, the crew had a subdued dinner and all went to bed. Meanwhile, Lockie's been feeling not too great about his situation and has been feeling quite guilty that he was this thoroughly manipulated by an external force. But Pim, who has himself been feeling a bit nervous about the security flaws in his system, has been trying to pep up Lockie by proposing a construction project on board the ship that would solve both of their problems. A lot of the party did things into the wee hours of the space morning, because time's kind of a hard concept to track if you're not on a planet. But everybody has begun to gradually awake in the morning and are going about their day. Now, there is something I'm going to have to ask of all of you before we go any further. Now, this is functionality that you can do. I need you to right-click on myself and Alice and mute both of us.
Okay.
Oh no.
I don't actually. I'm on phone, so I don't know how. So can you silence me somehow? Or you know what? I'll leave the call. Just send me a message when you want me to rejoin.
All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.
I don't think they can hear you, but I'll let them know.
Has everybody done it?
Hang on. I will type to them in the chat.
I pooped in all of your left shoes.
I'm back. What a way to come back, huh?
You need to mute them.
Yes. Mikhail, please mute me and Alice.
And yourself, so that we they can't hear.
Yes, so right click on each of our images and mute us so that you cannot hear us anymore.
Oh god, I am so terrified. God damn it, Rory. Straight in. So cruel.
Have you done it? Hey, Mikhail. Your butt smells like cheesy farts, and I don't like it. Okay, good. We're fine.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I'm in character. I'm definitely in character. We got this. Oh god.
Now, for the benefit of those watching at home, there is something I left out of the recap. And that is, on the morning when Catalina...
just making sure that Mikhail... Okay, go.
On the morning when Catalina woke up, she realized that she was feeling a lot more tired than she had any right to be. Glancing down at her, at the implant she has in her arm to keep her thoroughly containing iron, she realized it was mostly empty. And found that not long after having that realization, feeling a bit tired and lethargic as a result, that there was a voice entering her head from somewhere, and it was the voice of DOTAC. He made a very maniacal comment about how easy it is to reconstitute a full population of nanites inside an organism when that organism contains so much metal, and then proceeded to threaten her that he was along for the ride as an insurance policy and to make sure that his will would be properly enacted. While he was doing this threatening, Catalina's diaphragm stopped working, and as she gave herself the finger, as if to give the finger to DOTAC, who was perhaps watching, she fell unconscious due to a lack of air. Then, about half an hour later, you wake back up again, and are in a certain sense hoping and praying that what you just experienced was a dream. But not long after that, you hear the voice in your head again. He says, my. What was I thinking? I've dealt with you before. Clearly, you wished to experience value for cost. Allow me to demonstrate. He says, why don't you sit up and look in that mirror across from your bed?
Catalina will very hesitantly get up.
Okay. You're kind of like from the waist up, like vertical in bed. You can you can see yourself in the mirror, and almost immediately you feel something like bugs crawling on your skin, except they're in your skin. And almost immediately you see your facial features beginning to change, like something is amending the skeleton that defines a lot of the structure of the face from within. And just for a moment, you swear you look exactly like Darius. Like,
Oh,
exactly the same
fuck.
shape. It goes away very quickly, but you then hear in your head, we don't need to be enemies. We can be allies. Your body is a wonderful canvas, and we together can be a beautiful artist.
Oh.
And bring about all manner of wonderful changes to Yakuto. With this, you can be anyone. You can sound like anyone. You can look like anyone. So, are you more willing to accept my terms with this offer on the table?
Shit. I was not prepared.
No.
Oh god. Okay. Catalina will watch and she'll be like, I mean, she's thinking to herself, Jesus Christ, I'm even more of a monster now. But being a monster has its uses.
Mm-hmm.
She just like kind of looks at herself mildly horrified and then lays back down, just like, nope. No words, nothing, just lays back down.
Is that a yes? I'll need some kind of confirmation on your part, please, Catalina.
This is all a little bit sudden. Oh,
Is it?
Duh, I never expected a home invader.
You made an agreement with me.
Duh, this was not part of the agreement.
You clearly were choosing your words very carefully at the time, and I require additional assurances that you will follow through on my vision of the plan, not your interpretation.
I am a calculated person.
Oh yes, I'm sure. You were the only one among your crew prepared to make the moves necessary.
What can I say? I guess self-preservation is not one of my strong suits.
No, and now you can be stronger than ever before.
I am having a conversation with my own head. I am going crazy.
This doesn't have to be your head. This can be anyone's head.
So how does this work, huh? Can you?
I will be along for the ride.
Do you see what I see, hear what I hear, feel what I feel?
I have my ways. Your implants are very useful. It sounds like you're prepared to accept my terms, and now you're just curious about semantics.
I mean, let's be honest, what are my options?
None whatsoever.
I either
Because
agree to your hostage situation, or I die, correct?
Yes, and then I can move on to someone else's body. Perhaps that doctor. During the autopsy, I'm sure that'll be interesting.
It looks like I really did sell my soul to the devil.
Now. Don't be so crass. I'm the good guy here.
Oh, you have an interesting sense of humor. Maybe we can get along. For now.
Of course. Don't let me stop you. Go about your day. Just don't tell anybody about our deal. Got it?
I don't make any promises. They're going to realize that something is wrong.
Why is that?
Because they know me. And
Yes,
they
but
are
I'm
not
hiding.
stupid. If you
Well-
make yourself obviously known, that's on you, not on me.
Of course not. You can request of me a shape whenever you like, but be prepared to justify why it is you can do this now.
It's okay. I think I can find a way to explain this. Whether they believe me or not is another story.
Excellent.
I will play your game for now.
Call me if you need me.
Mm.
And you feel the speaker in your ear kind of stop existing, and like something squirms around inside your head and then stops.
This is going to be a good time. So, when we were dealing with Tazi, does
Yeah.
Catalina recall any particular information on how to kill nanobots?
Kill? No. But you still possess the device that can remove them from a person's bloodstream. However, that takes many, many days, especially if they are actively trying to constitute more of themselves. And
Also,
will
I
undoubtedly alert.
feel like these nanobites are also not just in her bloodstream. They're also
Oh.
in her very makeup.
Quite possibly.
Alright, well, Catalina will get up. I'm trying to figure out, like, whether she feels more angry or frustrated or just downright, like, heebie-jeebied out.
Mm. Well,
I feel like Catalina would just sit in her room. She wouldn't leave.
okay.
Excuse you? Excuse you? That's my hand you're biting, miss. Sorry.
Would you say this scene has concluded then?
Yeah, she's not going to call on DOTAC.
Okay. Well then, let's alert our friends to come back.
Hi, little miss. Oh, God, Jesus Christ, on a popsicle stick. Oh, good Lord.
Just maintain your composure, please. Hello, 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 hello.
Hi.
Woo. That took some time, but it hasn't.
Hello.
Ash, you're back, and Christian too. We
Back?
haven't really accepted.
I am very close to being ready
I
on
am
my
terrified about what has happened.
actual thing.
Oh, sweet.
Nothing you need to concern yourself about.
Tagged Chris in the thing, but he hasn't returned. He doesn't seem to be online.
That's right. He'll return as he can. He was in his
Okay.
phone.
Fair enough. Right. So it is a brand new day. It's probably at this point around like 10, 11 o'clock, as many of you were busying yourselves into the wee hours, but then probably just like had to go to sleep due to stuff and tiredness. So it's new morning. It's a new day. I'm sure Dimitri has prepared a hearty breakfast for everybody. So what do you want to do in the hours before you arrive at the edge of the solar system?
Keep practicing with my newfound power.
Ah.
Still trying to figure out what the fuck.
You there, Rory?
Yeah.
I can't hear anyone, so I'm going to rejoin.
Oh, that's weird. Ding.
Hello?
Hello.
There we go.
Excellent. Okay, so Dr. Charles, after getting an uneasy sleep, because you kind of felt tired even though you didn't feel tired, you tried to sleep and are now just moving the same screw across the floor, trying your best to not dent the floor each time you move it.
Yep.
Just roll me. Wait, can you roll dice right now? Actually, no.
No, I cannot.
Actually, that can be done by Alice. So, Alice, on behalf of Dr. Charles, can you roll 2d6 for a telekinesis roll?
2d6?
Yep.
A 6 and a 4.
Oh.
And that's +2.
You are.
Am I using wisdom?
Yes.
Then +2.
Excellent. You are getting better at this.
Yay!
Your ability to aim and not damage the ship at the same time is improving, and you feel that you're more in touch with your inner self. Everybody else, Lucky
Yes.
or Tim, what are you up to?
Standard stuff. If I'm not making the new room, I'm designing pins or I'm watching over the ship.
Enough.
Yeah, I would be working quite religiously on making the new room at the moment.
You're kind of
Fair
quiet,
enough.
Pim.
Yeah.
Turn you up a bit. Ooh, okay.
My input's all the way up, so.
So
Okay.
you currently have 7 physical bodies to work with. If you intend to use both of them, or to use all of them to both build more of yourself and build the room, what's the split?
Oh, only one of them will be building, will be in the room, and that is
Okay.
the actual echo, the one that you can slot into as him. Most of what he's doing, because the panic room is going to be designed so that only small objects can get in or out.
Well, if you want the rest of the echoes to be building more echoes, you have to actively be controlling them in the core.
Yeah. I'm in the supercomputer.
Yep. Okay. You are you're in the supercomputer. One of the echoes is helping Lockie build your panic room, and the other 6 are together continuing construction on 3 more. So it's like two echoes to another echo.
Okay.
Okay. You're just working along. Darius, what are you doing this morning?
Fuck. Pass over me and get back to me because I actually have no idea at the moment.
Alright.
Fair enough.
Just as a heads up, Catalina hasn't surfaced yet. She's still in her room.
Good. That's just about everybody. So with all these things occurring, all the banging and clattering and clanging, eventually you will get to around midday when your ship makes it to the edge of the system. You have to wait another day before the Gloved Molotov catches up to you, unless you wish to simply jump away without waiting for the Gloved Molotov, which means leaving Tazi behind and trusting that she will catch up.
I'd say no, because Tazi's inexperienced with flying a ship, and we last time we jumped with her flying that, we did the calculations for the jump before we left.
Good point. Yes, that is true.
Lucky would be very much against us leaving without her.
Of course. Also, there is the issue that the frontier of your ship is kind of incomplete at the moment because.
Oh, sorry. I do know what I'm doing. I'm coding a hack. I will write you in message what it is.
Okay. Cool. So, just like Catalina, Darius is also not surfacing from his room and is probably just working away from there. Okay, so
I'd come out and probably collect an entire bag of coffee beans and go back to my room.
just like walk out, grab the beans, realize that the actual coffee machine is broken because Pim broke it, and go, and then go back to your room.
Oh no, I'd just be like eating them, like just crunching on them. Chips.
Oh my god. Jeez.
Pure coffee.
That. Wow. That's a thing. Boy, oh boy. Hang on just a sec. I've got blinds open, and the sun is getting to a not fun place.
Quick, everyone, let's do something crazy, because Rory's not here. I don't know. I didn't think that ahead.
Does it exist?
Thorough. I don't know. Ah, no.
DM's asleep. Quick, everyone number the stars.
That's much better.
Welcome back. Nothing suspicious happened while you were gone.
I heard talking.
You heard nothing.
So, while the main ship's engineer, Dimitri, the player, isn't physically here, do you guys as a crew think you will chance jumping into drive space without completing your repairs, or are you going to take the time on the edge of the system to try and fix it yourself?
I
It would
feel
be very stupid for us to not to.
The more pims I had, yeah. I'm going to get the maximum amount of pims I can afford to work at the same time and then start repairing, because that will take the least amount of time to repair or do something at the front of the ship.
Fair enough. I recall doing maths in regards to how long it'll take you to get to like a PIM critical mass.
One person, and I think it was 3 days worth of work.
Yes, something like that. Like, I think it would take you 6 days to make all of them because it's you and you don't sleep or anything. Because you already have half of them, it'll take you 3 days to finish the rest.
Okay.
So you'll have 1 day of waiting for the Gloved Molotov to catch up, then 2 days of waiting for Pim to amass his army, and then however long it takes to complete repairs on the front of the ship with just manpower.
We shall get to work.
Okay.
All the while, Lucky's working on the room.
I
grab tank and get it in.
One and just watch.
Okay.
Catalina briefly leaves her room to acquire food, like sustenance when necessary, and then goes back to her room, and if anyone notices her, she looks really lethargic and, like, unwell.
Yeah, her grey skin has turned a paler grey.
It has. It has, in fact, turned pale. More pale.
How the hell are we supposed to tell anyway?
I don't know. Just...
Skill and determination.
Well, Pim, you are the being most likely to notice because you have eyes in most places, so you can roll me a perception check to see if you notice any changes in her appearance. You would...
2d6, yeah?
Yes, you would undoubtedly note her behavior as being rather antisocial. But aside from that,
That is a double 1
sh-
with a -1 and a 0, so it's 1.
you think Catalina's in a bad mood about what happened on Papadias and is just sulking.
Fair assumption.
Cool. Thank you, Dice.
Fair enough.
Off to a
So,
good start.
Oh, would I have got a response from my dad? Or not yet?
uh,
No, because we were only on Papadias for like 2 days, 3 days.
a few days. It would take a little longer than that to get like a there and back. So, the way things shake out is everybody's working very, very hard to get the ship kind of together as best you can out in this weird, awkward space. You are able to leverage your tractor beam to kind of hold components and things outside in space and like position them thusly to be secured in place. After a day, Tazi arrives, docks with the Milan, comes across, and then begins to lend her aid with Dimitri in getting everything underway. 2 more days pass, unless anybody wishes to interject and have conversations. 2 more days pass, and and Pim now has 15 of himself.
I would probably change what I'm doing because the first day would only take that 1 hack.
True.
So the second and third day, I'd be splitting Primal's core into subroutines and basically taking a fragment of his intelligence and turning it into a hack. So a fragment of his personality can be uploaded.
Piece of his personality are you choosing to turn into?
Basically, I would just give it all of the traits of the forensic animal that he is, and just basically make it a randomized destructive thing that you upload, and it just goes and does its own thing. So completely unpredictable.
That's terrifying.
Yep.
That is a genuinely terrifying thought to have. Okay, well, I should say for both of these hacks, you should be rolling for them to see how well you do.
Okay.
In their construction, so it's.
So for the first, yeah, can you roll 3d6 twice, Alice?
Okay, I will attempt to with Lapcat. She never lap cats. She never lap
I'll
cats.
do the
it's
the
okay.
first roll is the one that I told Rory, and the second one is, in fact, consider it.
6, 5, and 2. So 6 and 5.
Fuck.
That's
okay.
like.
And then 2 6s.
Oh my god!
Okay, so that's hang on, yeah, it's a 15 and a 16.
Okay, write down if you don't already have like in your notes a list of prepared hacks and record what the checks were that you got for them, just for future reference.
No, I never have done that, so you can assume every other hack is unprepared.
Yes, so but
now.
Since you're preparing these ones, just make a note of what they are, what they do, and what the associated skill checks were for future reference.
Yeah. And because I have 1 more day, can I prepare the second one again? Just another randomized sort of take of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
Are you planning on making any changes or updates, or just like exactly the same?
This one is going to be slightly different. It'll be Primal again, but his entire purpose is just to try and keep gateways open, so that to try and maintain something else that I'm doing.
Okay, so any kind of like security safeguards that would slam into place and cut off access or things like that just are held open by this hack?
Yep.
Quick back.
Okay.
Good boy.
Good boy. I am a good boy. Alice, can you roll once more for that third hack, please?
Oh, heck, okay. Sorry, Fidget. Give me a moment.
Do the hecky thing.
6 and 4.
Fuck. So that's a
14. Yeah, you've got some monsters up your sleeve now.
Those are scary. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
It's the luck of the lap cat.
Oh yes. And just as a query, you walked in with like an entire bag this big of coffee beans. How much is left in the bag after your 3 days?
3 days.
Yeah.
I assume the bag's like a kilo, 2 kilos.
Mhm.
Probably about a quarter left. I mean, he'd
Oh.
be sitting there snacking on them like chips.
That's a very unhealthy diet.
Look,
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, I've done a game jam before for 3 days, and I've had like a big bag of like cereal next to me. And when you're just doing work like for 3 days straight with snack, yeah, you get through it real quick.
So, I'd say after 3 days, can Pim and Lockie both roll me? Or I mean, Pim roll me a tech after an Aldrich, and Lockie roll me tech post tech, to see
Okay.
how your progress goes with the secret project.
I'm fucking believe it. The double sixes.
That-
A 7. So just a
Okay.
pass.
I think this is a better way of doing it, Rory, with me declaring and rolling the prepared ones and recording them in a list. So good
Fair enough.
idea.
So, Pim, you are a man with a plan.
He's also a plan with a man.
Indeed. So,
Alright then.
so the way your room is set up is so that you're like reconfiguring the input of the supercomputer so that the only way that you as a core can get into it is from the panic room.
No.
No?
Sort of like the front part is how Pim's core can come out, but there's also a sort of drop down mechanic where gravity everything comes out.
So you've reconfigured part of the interior of the supercomputer so that if you're in danger, you can just press a button, have the computer let go of you, and then just.
I wouldn't really call it pressing a button. It's more like think. Yeah.
It's a mental button.
Yes, pressing a mental button for a very abrupt disconnection from the computer, and just have the core fall into the panic room and probably be placed into a different armature for safekeeping.
One of a few armatures.
Okay.
I'm going to be designing. One of them is the Scarab, obviously.
Indeed. But for now, you're just building the house to hold them all. It's very akin to like Tony Stark's like wall of
I would
armors.
also like to hull reinforce the outsides of the panic room and secure it so that it literally is a black box panic room.
It's already towards like the center of the ship, so your odds on that are pretty good. But you are able to take full advantage of the remaining parts, and with the help of Lockie, like I feel like the way the exchange would be between Pim and Lockie would be Pim is very to the point and serious, but Pim is so focused on making sure it's safe that a few of the practical considerations are overlooked. So it's like occasionally Lockie goes, yeah, but what if this happens? And you go, oh, I didn't think of that.
Oh dear. This is why I keep you around.
Oh, that's so mean.
I feel the love.
Yeah. So after what's probably a pretty sweaty few days in a quite confined space, Pim's Echo and like a grubby Lockie wearing like a stained tank top just emerge from your room, from Lockie's room. Pim's armature is powder fresh because it doesn't sweat unless he needs to. But you have successfully completed your panic room.
But he's shirtless for effect.
Sure.
Bless you.
Okay. What else is occurring? Dr. Charles, you've got a lot of time to yourself.
Yeah, like every now and again, I'd probably just make small talk with people, like with Molly. But unless people actually ask for me, I'm just gonna float around and experiment with things.
Well, can I ask you to please make me a perception check?
Alice, can you please make a perception check for me?
I can do that.
So-
yes.
Where in these boxes behind you are the dice?
5 and 3, by the way.
I know where they are. I need to catch my breath for a moment.
Yeah,
They're
fair enough.
downstairs. I know which box they're in. I've just got to go find it.
All good. So, 5 and 3. Any bonuses from perception or wisdom?
A +1 to wisdom. Give me 1 sec. Gotta remember what my password for Roll20 is so I can check the rest. If it wants to load. Come on. Andale. Let's launch the game.
I too can have a look because I have the power.
I have the power!
Training in perception, you've got as perception of 0, so it's a 9 total.
There we go.
Okay, with a 9, I think there's something that you kind of begin to notice as the days go by. Molly is less and less willing to deal with you as even at your quietest, she says you are too loud. And sometimes
as I notice that she's getting sick of it, I'd only use it in case of emergencies then.
sometimes when you're at your quietest, like when there's a lull in the ship's engine and just for a moment it's recycling itself and there's a momentary quietness in the ship, you swear you can hear this weird like murmuring. It sounds like a lot of voices, but you don't know where they're coming from. And as soon as the engine like kicks back in, you just don't hear it anymore. And you think, that was weird.
It's actually Pim watching 19 different cartoons at once.
I start to concentrate on it whenever it happens. To see if I can figure out its source or if I can recognize one of the voices.
Okay, can you roll me another telekinesis roll?
Alice?
Oh, right. Sorry. Six
I
and
will,
5.
I will get my dice in a moment.
Oh,
6 and
okay.
5.
And that's
So-
+2.
So, question: Where have you been spending most of your time on the ship?
I'd probably be spending it mostly in the cargo bay because there's more space to move around, and I think better when I'm moving.
Okay, so you are just floating around the cargo bay, kind of like reclined. You feel this quiet lull. You go, "Ooh, now's the time," and then you think and focus really, really hard, and you kind of feel yourself pouring back through your own mind and own memories as you focus on this sound, and you feel a very severe pang of guilt as you get closer and closer to this thing, and you see a face that you never really wanted to see again. You spent time on, what was the planet? You were a practicing physician on Palmeropolis, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's on the maltech robot, nanobot pieces of crap.
No, wrong one. It was
Piece of maltech.
It was a
Count Duriotis.
Yeah.
Yes, Count Duriotis, and during your time there, your practice was your practice was in danger when there was an attack by nanobot monsters. And during the scuffle, a few of your patients, or like who were traveling to and from your practice, were marked on the list of the dead. You recall one particular patient was very reluctant to visit you in person, but you, at the time, you insisted that you were far too busy for a home visit, and that they had to come in. And on that day, they came in, and they were caught in the crossfires, and they died. You see in this weird, like, space you're focusing on, like, a ghostly visage of that person just looking at you with blank, dead eyes, and you hear them say in their voice, in Mandarin, "It was your fault." And then you just, like, snap out of it and see that there's a bit of a crater on the ground beneath you in the cargo bay.
Let me stew on this for a moment, please.
Okay.
Maybe don't stew on it. Maybe just let it go for this one.
No, stew on it. It makes it more fun.
Okay, so I believe that accounts for everybody. So after 3 days have passed, you've got Dimitri and Tazi are working feverishly and as hard as they can to get the front of the ship intact and ready again, so you guys can safely enter into drive space and take off. Where did I put my second? Oh, there it is. I am blind. So I'm going to make a roll on behalf of Tazi. See how well she's able to do with her tech astronautic, trying to get things together. Ooh, not bad. She gets a 10 total with all her modifiers. 6 from the 2 on the die. I'll also roll on behalf of Nick. And since he has an expertise in this, he gets 3d6. Just like Darius. Okay. Dimitri, what are his bonuses? Intelligence, so +1. Check out astronomic, another +1. Okay, so he gets an 8 altogether. They've been able to get some solid progress in place, and with so Pim, actually I should say, Pim, do you wish to make a show of there being so many of you? Because it's you we're talking about.
Well, no.
No?
Pim wouldn't make a show of showing how many pins it was unless it was used for like a practical joke.
Well, would you like to attempt a practical joke using all of your Pims?
Sure. Just have one hallway where all the doors are there. Just have each of the Pim sort of just knock, knock, and then each of the Pims open the door and go, "Who's there?" And the Pim will go, "Pim," and the Pim inside will go, "But I'm Pim," and then shut the door.
So,
And then that just repeats until someone sees it.
oh my god. So like on deck 2, where the main like residential quarters are, it's just all these Pims talking to themselves. I'd say Darius and Catalina are the 2 individuals who are staying closest to the residential quarters and would probably eventually hear the sound of Pim talking to himself coming from the hallways outside.
Yeah, one of the Pims is having an argument with another Pim.
I feel like Catalina would probably be too tired to actually, like, investigate unless it happened for such a long time that she's like, what the fuck, man?
I don't sleep.
Pim has good staying power.
Darius would leave it for about 5 minutes, walk out and go, "You know, you can just automate that."
Interesting. I will have to make a couple more Pims and tell Tim to play as the other Pim.
Oh,
Fair enough.
goody, an upgrade.
Yes, I will give you control of the one that pelvic thrust in the air.
Excellent. That one was my favorite.
Is it too late to delete you?
No, of course not, Father.
I am now conflicted. This is literally happening in front of Darius.
He would just raise an eyebrow and continue to walk down the hallway, collecting another bag of beans, pass back as the same shit's happening, and go back to his room.
Ooh.
That's Nick.
We have a new.
Hey, buddy!
How are you doing?
Feed me now, Dimitri.
Yay! Oh dear. So, what do they say? Sit rep. You guys have been at the edge of the solar system for 3 days now. After 1 day, Tazi caught up, and in the following 2 days, Pim has completed all 15 of himself. I have
I've still got more parts to make another 5, but you know.
I have assumed that that during this time, because the ship is still in need of repairs, like to make the hull fully secure, that you and Tazi have been doing a lot of that and trying to get the ship as prepared to go as possible.
I have everyone's dice but my own.
You are correct, Rory.
Then take Christian's dice and throw them at him.
Oh no, I don't have. No, I've just got everybody from our D&D group.
No, cat, no, stop! You can't steal the dice! No!
Kitty, no!
Curious.
Steal it! I believe in you!
She's like, but you get to play with the shiny click-clacks, why can't I?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Give me the magic
A valid
pencil.
question. Why
Yeah.
can't you?
So,
Because you will eat them and steal them, and I will lose them. That's
So-
why.
with there being with there being 15 additional PIMs, how many of them would you commit to repairs on the ship after they're all done?
10.
10 of them? Okay, with 10, I'd say only 1 more day of repairs are required until the exposed part of the ship is fully fixed. There are still more issues that need resolving on board the ship, but you've bought the components and you have time during your jump to complete them. But for now, like, the one glaring issue is that front of the ship is a hazard in drive space. So after 1 more day of frantic repairs and like 10 PIMs all in vac suits, just like politely passing things to each other at the foot of the ship and using like blow torches and stuff.
Oh, thank you, Pim. Should I do it here, Pim? Yes, Pim.
It's so cute.
Never gonna get old, are they?
No. So after 4 days, the ship is not fully repaired, but it is repaired enough to attempt a jump into drive space.
Is this where I say, who the fuck broke my ship?
You were
Yes.
Because I haven't been paying attention for like a week and a half, so who the fuck broke my ship?
you were repairing it, but the repairs were not done, and so you've had to make the rest of them yourselves.
Well, if you want to be technical, the only person who's actually damaged the ship is Dr. Charles.
True.
Well, next time I'll just leave you to get stolen and taken to a hostile planet.
No. I'm thankful that you did that. I'm not thankful that you tried to break the computers in the main central hub.
And I think I've earned a little bit of leeway on breaking stuff.
You break many things, including yourself.
Yes.
Mostly just myself.
And
Like-
spaceships.
Oh, no.
Yourself
Do I
and
need to close my door?
spaceships.
Yeah, because it's fun.
You only have yourself to blame for the fact that you are like a really, really crappy explosive.
Okay, so it's been 4 days' time, and you guys can, if you wish, attempt a jump into track space. Would you like to do that?
Sure.
Where are we going, though?
Indeed. Where are you going?
Well,
Where did we
I
come from?
will
Anywhere
move
but
us over to here.
Well, we still need to finish the repairs on the ship, and we can't really do that on Kikika, so...
no.
So,
Sorry, do you want to go?
so the Milan and the Gloved Molotov are both on the edge of this hex here, hex 209. Right next to you is hex 109.
Bless you. Bless you.
Hear me? Which contains Harbona and Yakuta.
I need to go somewhere to get this cyberware removed, otherwise half of it won't even function. And it's probably going to kill me at some point.
Are you saying that so everyone can hear it? Because if you're saying it in your room, I'm locked out of your room.
I assume we would be having a meeting about where we're going.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So,
But that was an assumption.
someone
Unless
also-
summoned Catalina will probably not join.
Your toilet lid starts going up and down. Catalina, the toilet door requires your attention.
What? Pim? What?
It is not him, it is I, the Lord of Toilets. You are to go to the meeting room or face my plungy wrath.
Is this what you do to Loki? I suddenly understand why he doesn't have working toilet. Oh, okay. I'll be out in a minute.
Yeah, you blamed it on my poops, but it's really him.
Just to be obvious though, I don't have a digestive system. I find toilet humor funny.
It is pretty funny. And she gives like a weak laugh. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute.
I'll make you some tea.
That would be nice.
What's that dead planet one north of us?
that is where you guys salvage the Milan.
Oh, okay.
So, assuming everybody is prepared to converge, you are all now around the dining room table, including Dr. Charles's incorporeal form, and Molly, who is hiding in Dimitri's robes.
One of Pim's is just sitting there in the back, throwing icing sugar towards the ghost to kind of semi-highlight it for people.
Pim, can you
Yes.
stop doing that? You're leaving sticky mess on floor.
Nick, you need to point your microphone the right way so it's actually pointed at your mouth.
I don't know which way it is.
It'll be like the text towards your face.
Okay, there is text.
Also, make sure it's
Is
not
that
in
better?
the view of your
Okay.
camera, because now we can only see.
I can't help it.
Come back.
That's because it's so big.
Go on, say it again. I've got to come back.
I said you are leaving sticky mess on floor. Can you stop it?
You do that in your room a lot.
Duh, but at least I lick it up afterwards.
I feel like this is where Catalina
Oh, boy.
walks in, and she just
Ah,
like.
Catalina, are you done shitting yourself?
What?
For like 4 days now. Like, how long does it take to shit one? Never mind. Come, sit.
Sure.
For once, this has nothing to do with me.
Catalina looks like drained. Like,
Yes, you were a nice shade of grey with grey and other grey on top of it.
057 is
absolutely
Alpha's-
exhausted. Sorry, what?
No,
No, what is 057?
that is Counderiotis. It is where it is where Dr. Charles worked, where there were rampant nanobots, and where Tazi was having issues.
Okay.
Alphys is in Hex 0303, which is up,
Right.
up
Yep.
here. Yes.
This one?
Okay.
A long way away.
Strong opinion. I need a bunch of metal ripped out of my skull. I ran some diagnostics on my stuff earlier. It's all conflicting with each other.
Great.
Okay.
So we need to go somewhere. Next door is Habona and Yokuta, and both of those are no-go at the moment. But we need
I can
Tech
help
4.
you, and I will do
What other
whatever
Tech
it
4
is
planets
that-
can we go to?
Calviriotis, Elftis. I don't know. Charles, you're usually better with geography.
I need to make an addition to this map so that we can have visual key. I'll work on that for next week. Sorry, guys.
If it helps,
Uh,
I have drawn up a star chart which I can highlight in the center console.
Giles probably isn't paying that much attention to anything anyone's saying.
Whoa.
And Rory, if you can check your Facebook at some point.
Oh, my
That's the real
Facebook.
question.
Message him on Discord. He doesn't open his
I keep
Facebook.
forgetting to message you on Discord. Shush.
Copy paste, man. Copy paste.
He can't. His Discord is corporeal, and he's a ghost.
You're stuck, cat. You're stuck. You're stuck. You're stuck. There you go.
He's a human bag of crisps.
Yeah, Fidget just flops.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to not fight with her on that one. She is cat.
She's liquid in fur form. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, no, no, it, no.
Yeah, depending on the answer.
I have replied.
Okay. I'm probably just distracted at the moment. And unless a question is repeated, I probably won't answer.
Charles, what are the Tech 4 planets that we could go to that are safe?
Around here?
In this cluster? Like somewhere within, I don't know, like, just give me a list.
You know,
Yes. Both of them are further north in the system.
you know what? I owe that
One second.
lady a favor, Caliandrotus. We could probably drop in there and at least be relatively safe.
Not a bad idea.
I wouldn't call that planet safe.
He didn't say safe, he said relatively.
I wouldn't call that planet relatively safe.
But face it, nowhere's relatively safe.
That's the planet with the nanobots, isn't it?
Well, you do owe her a favor on that planet. Also, you made a promise to the rogue psychic on board, who no one's really checked up on, that you would drop her on Colocatronis, which is also in Hex 109. It is a Tech Level 3 planet.
Is that
Oh yeah.
up here?
Oh no, it's
No,
thi-
109.
it's
In one
it's
corner.
specifically this one.
Oh,
There's
right.
three. There's three planets that are currently inhabited in Hex 109. The third one is Tech Level 3. It has a Greek populace and is currently being colonized by Yakuta.
Can Tech 3 planet remove cyberware?
Under normal circumstances, no. But considering the fact that they are being colonized by Yakuta, there may be several examples of of TL4 being introduced to the populace.
Or,
I mean,
you
I
know,
guess we could-
magical medical machines that could help you.
I mean, I guess we could go there first if anyone wants to worry about bounty hunters. But,
Ooh.
you know.
A question, actually. Has anybody invited Dr. Lucy to this meeting?
Well,
Yeah.
nobody else was invited to this meeting. We just appeared here. So I assume she is here also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
well, then-
mean, I feel like it would have been. We always have meetings with everyone present, like Tazi, Lucia.
yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
Tazi, no, because she's flying the Molotovs, so she'd be on holo projector or something.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we
she'd
all
be
just
still
escaped.
present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resistance.
I will say that at this point, Dr. Lucy has just come in from medbay after taking care of Dr. Charles and says, hi, sorry I'm late. What are we talking about?
We are talking about where to go next with the ship. So,
Catalina's
somewhere-
laying on the table like this.
Oh,
we need somewhere so that Catalina can get a kick up the butt, and we also need somewhere with at least like tech level 4, so that Darius can have some cyberware removed.
Well,
And
Loki
it does
to
not have
suit.
to. It does not have to be a planet, though. Like if you know some like fancy outpost that we could dock with,
We
that
could
would
always
also
go
work.
to Habona.
I could attempt to remove it.
Are you? Daddy's slightly alarmed and goes, "Yeah. What about modifications?"
That was not part of my degree. I learned certain things, and while installing cyberware is very challenging, it's comparatively easier to remove it.
Is it possible to make, say, a hot swap socket?
I'm sorry?
Just a couple of pieces in my hand. The trigger piece and the just 2 bits if you can swap them over.
I can. I am confident that I can remove cyberware. I'm not confident that I can do anything else.
Fair.
Do we have the equipment?
Not really, Charles.
If we can get this thing out of my head, I'd be happy.
You may
Can
not
do
like
it.
where it is.
Probably not.
Is it in the shuttle?
Yep.
At this point, Catalina, you now have, like, Dr. Lucy has kind of just floated over towards where you're sitting, and you kind of feel her like pick up your arm and check your pulse.
Her pulse is pretty fine. She's just looks absolutely dead exhausted.
She then Dr. Charles, if you're paying even even a tiny amount of attention, like over her shoulder, you can see Dr. Lucy is bringing up Catalina's file that you made.
Catalina's just like, I'm fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
She says, I don't think it's fine. It looks like you're a little low on iron.
That's okay. That's normal.
She goes to roll up your sleeve and goes, oh, no wonder your implant is empty.
I know. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is not healthy long term.
Probably not. But it might be safer. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Well, as acting medical officer on board the ship, I have a duty of care for you until Dr. Charles is corporeal again.
Catalina, please do the thing.
Catalina, stop being difficult and follow the doctor's orders.
Fix it, or you'll cause someone to end up dead. And Darius just stands up and goes, all right, well, I guess, Charles, can you come down to the shuttle with me and tell me what I need to salvage from this bastard?
Catalina has the most pained and tortured look of indecision on her face.
Well, Dr. Lucy is just currently in the process of acquiring a small vial from her bag and drawing a liquid from it into a syringe.
She lets it happen.
And you have about a week of iron put back into your arm. She says, I have seen that Dr. Charles has more of this in the medical bay. If you could pay me a visit over the next few days, and I'll get it fully topped up.
Okay. Sure. Fine.
Excellent. And you do begin to start slowly feeling better as it's present in your system.
She starts looking less woozy.
Indeed.
Please finish your sweet baked pancake.
I basically go like I'll look at Darius's Eddie's question and be like, there's
Look.
one section of it that you don't want. The rest of it we might need help with, especially Pim's help.
Darius is like super frustrated because he didn't want anything on that ship to be pulled apart by Pim. But considering Lockie needs it out, yeah, he'd probably still go ahead. If it was just him, he wouldn't. But Pim, you there?
Always, Darius. How can I help you?
Let's rip apart this other fucker, right?
DOTAC is still in there, and I fear for the crew's safety.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
DOTAC is still in the ship, and I fear for the crew's safety.
I'll have a talk with him. He's reasonable, at least. He's got a goal, and therefore, as long as what we do don't conflict with it, he's probably not going to do anything too stupid, right?
Darius, he is an unbraked AI. Stupid is in his programming.
True. Yeah, no, you're right. You know what? Let's just talk. We'll see if we can come to some sort of arrangement at the minimum. Apparently, he likes deals.
Or is in the ship. I will blast it.
Sorry?
If we jettison the ship in space and know exactly where the core programming of DOTAC is, I can assault that specific part with the plasma cannon, and
Not
then
at the...
feed what's left back into the ship.
No, there's a chance we destroy too much. At the moment, I'm not breaking anything. I just want to get the shit out of Lockie and Mine's head. And then I'll even put it back. But we don't have the equipment, do you?
If I could study the equipment, I could definitely replicate it.
Oh, wait. If Lucia can do it, then fine. Let's just do it.
Yes.
Sorry, I got confused there, Rory. I thought we didn't have the equipment, but never mind.
Like, it does require like it requires certain equipment to put it in, but taking it out is easy. It's just open up, know what to look for, make sure you don't snag anything on the way out, and just like take it out, put it somewhere else.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So we will. I think now is a good point to go for a bit of a break, and then when we get back, Lockie and Dimitri can have Darius brain. Lockie and Darius can have yet more brain surgery to feel more comfortable in their own skin. So we'll be back in just a little bit, so like 10-15 minutes. See y'all in a bit.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the Gloved Molotov. We are back from our break and have things and stuff to occur. So, without a moment to lose, Dr. Lucy will actually hang on. Before the meeting concludes, you should probably come to an agreement on where you're going.
Yes.
So, Dr. Lucy leaves.
While I'm serving each of them food.
Yeah, so Dr. Lucy leaves and goes to prepare her suite for the procedure and leaves the rest of you to keep on discussing.
After Darius learns that we don't actually need to go anywhere to remove anything, he just gets up and walks out. He's like, you guys figure it out. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
We are
Okay, so we're going to
Harbona
not
and-
to Yakuta, not to Harbona, but that other place that I can't remember the name of.
Caliotis?
We actually have to go there first.
It's named Colocatronis.
Colocatronis, that is the one. Yes, we go. Oh shit!
Get her close to the
We go there and we say goodbye to little psychic and kick her out the door or whatever.
To be honest, we don't even have to land. We just have to get within visual range and she can teleport.
I thought you were going to say then we can kick her out the door.
She can take the escape pod that she's been making smell for the last couple of months.
But that's my gaming.
Gotta say,
Okay.
I'm not that fond of her.
I'll buy you some more chickers and stuff. Maybe 3D chess. Have you played that one?
I am curious.
It is fun. This is like three. Never mind. I'll show you when I buy one.
Time chess is the best.
No, battle chess is the best.
No, Lockheed's chest is the best.
Pim. Good joke.
So, it sounds like you intend to plot a course to Hex 109.
Colocatronis.
Colocatronis.
Right. With that in mind, Dr. Lucy is able to prepare the medical suite. Are you going to have her perform the surgery as you enter drive space and during, or just surgery then drive space?
That is not for me to decide. I'm not the one going under the knife.
Yoo-hoo, Chris!
You're muted.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, what was the question, Rory?
Are you going to be operated on while you are in drive space, or have the surgery first, then make the jump?
Oh, just drive space is fine.
Okay, cool. So, Dr. Lucy is still preparing her suite and everything. So that means, Dimitri, you get to make. Actually, you need to make 2 navigation rolls: one for the Gloved Molotov and one for the Milan.
So that is.
Do you roll 3d6 now?
No.
No, I didn't take that kind of navigation. I just took that in astronautics.
Oh, right.
That is 9,
Okay, for which ship?
whichever ship.
I'll say those are the coordinates you sent to Tazi for the Molotov.
Okay, and 8 for the other one.
Okay, both of those are numbers. So you send over the required path that Tazi must take and plug numbers in yourself, and you go, okay, let's do this. For your own information, Tazi is going to be 3 days behind you. Your jump is going to take you 3 days to arrive, and Tazi's will take 6 because your spike drive is
Better.
one tier better than the other one. So she is going to be over there all alone and will bid you a fond farewell and says that she'll see you on the other side. Both ships spool up, make their jumps, and enter drive space successfully. Both of those jumps were successful, so you guys are all good.
Yay.
So, Dr. Charles,
Yes.
You've been just like having concerns about the state of your own head for a while now, and you're accustomed to the sound of a ship going and going into drive space. However, this time, as the ship spools up, the sound of the engine preparing to depart feels like nails on a chalkboard in your head. And as the jump fully commences, you can no longer actually see anything. Previously, you were just floating around inside the ship. Now everything is just complete and absolute pitch blackness.
Sweet. Isolation torture.
Do I feel like I'm still floating?
You still feel like you're floating. You look around and you can still see everything. Actually, hang on.
Go about 200 meters to the left. Maybe you'll leave the ship in drive space.
I'm just going to check something. Hang on.
Oh, creepy music's playing.
That could be bad.
No, it's perfectly fine.
Now, this is a track called Weirder Things. This is Dr. Charles' theme music.
Oh no, I can't hear it because I'm outside.
The audience needs to let me know if they can hear it, because I can't hear it, but I've set it up so that they can.
This track could equal parts suit a medical drama or a fever dream, so I think it's quite appropriate.
That's exactly what Charles is. One part medical drama, one part fever dream.
You are just suspended in this weird, complete pitch blackness, and as you're kind of floating around, testing your boundaries and going, okay, what's this now? You can't even see the incorporeal hand in front of your face. It's so dark, and you begin hearing the sounds and those voices you were hearing getting louder and louder and louder, and all of a sudden you're back where you thought you were on the Gloved Molotov, except everything is in complete grayscale. The entire ship just looks like it's a black and white movie. And
Oh, shit, you've turned into me.
and looking around, you can see a hand reach through the exterior hull of the ship and grab onto the floor and pull itself out of the outside of the ship. And it looks like a creepy specter, just like the one you kind of focused on before, except this time it is of somebody else. This time it's your father. And he just says, "You were warned," and just starts like pulling himself across the ground, getting closer and closer to you. You look around, you can see other people as well. You can see specters of Tazi, of Lockie, of Catalina, of Darius. You can even see like Pim's echo in like a ghoulish countenance crawling across the ground. All of them are just saying horrible things about how you failed them and that you're worthless and that you don't deserve to be where you are. And they're getting closer and closer. What do you do?
For a moment, I will close my eyes and just sort of focus in on myself and like start thinking to myself, they're not there, they're not real. It's just a dream. And like sort of open my eyes again to see if things are still moving towards me.
And the thing that properly jolts you to open your eyes is looking down, and you can see your mother, like in a ghoulish countenance, emerging from the floor, kind of clawing her way up your leg, saying, "Why didn't you like my cooking?"
I was gonna make that joke, but I beat you to it.
Yep. And she is like pulling you out of the ship, like through the floor. She's like pulling you down.
Don't you know that eggshell has calcium?
I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna try and escape. I'm gonna try and move through the floor into the next level of the ship.
Okay. She's pulling you down, so you're going with her to try and escape from her.
What's underneath the level that we're on?
Underneath the level you're on, hang on, I will move us across to the Milan Oldex map. So on deck 2 is the cargo bay. So you're roughly around here.
Rory, just
Yep.
for the sake of the audience, can you label which deck's what?
Yes, that is a good point, actually.
Mhm.
So, just for now, while I do that, this is deck 2. Actually, no, this is deck 3 because it's from top to bottom. So this is deck 3. Beneath you is deck 4. So if you go down, you will end up in the cargo lighter the storage bay. So it's like you're here, and I'm dropping down there. Can't go any further down than that.
You didn't do the thing. Hang on. This is 1, this is 2, 3, and 4. That's correct?
No.
Ah, okay. You can fix
Sorry.
it.
I can. Heck, move. I'm having struggles. Actually, no. This is 2. But this is 1. This is 4. Move, it's so skinny. Draw proper 1s next time, Alice.
What do you mean? That isn't 1. It is a single line.
This is deck number 1. And yes, that's deck 3. You were half right.
Okay.
Yep, so if you want to, you can just go with her and be pulled down into deck 4.
I probably prefer not to be, seeing as they're coming from outside of the ship. They're probably trying to drag me outside of the ship.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and go up, at the same time trying to get the being off of my legs.
Okay.
The failed chef ghoul.
Can you please roll me telekinesis?
I can now.
Hey, you can't complain about my rolls. They were pretty good.
They were fantastic. A bit better than the one I got. 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Alright then. I only rolled a 7 on the dice, and actually, so you rolled a 7 as well on the dice?
Yeah, I got plus.
Okay. Well, if you have a +2, then so do I.
No.
Read into that what you will. So you aren't able to escape her grasp, but are able to keep yourself from being pulled down any further. But in the struggle against her, more and more of the ghouls have just been pouring in and getting closer and closer to you. Like the further back they are, the more obscure they are in terms of people who've wronged you. Like, there's that one guy who you promised to do the homework of but didn't. There's the patient who you let die from that other planet. There's all these people who have at any point in your life said unpleasant things about you, and even people who haven't. Just people who mean a lot to you are just pouring into this room and are just yelling a cacophony of your failings.
Even Molly.
Not Molly, though.
Not Dimitri either, apparently.
Yes, Dimitri.
Why you didn't say Dimitri before?
I meant to include everybody. So I'm going to say from Dimitri, he's probably saying things about you being a lightweight. and you can't hold your liquor to save your life.
You vomit all you
Makes
had was
sense.
fermented potato.
You're like a big balloon, like one little prick and all the alcohol goes everywhere. What a waste.
So, in my head, as Charles, I've got two options at the moment.
Yep.
I completely freak out and try and push everything away with telekinesis. And we all know how using telekinesis has ended for me recently. Or I just curl up into a ball and let it happen.
I see.
And tell you what, if I succeed on this mental effect save, I will telekinetic. If I fail on this mental effect save, I'm going to let it happen.
You
Okay.
should let Alex roll it.
I succeed. I got an
Okay.
18. So I'm going to try and push them all away with telekinesis.
So you steel yourself and try and maintain as much composure as you can. You just-
Molly probably gets a piercing headache from hearing me scream, "Get the fuck away from me," as I just blast out.
yeah. So
And we end up with a crater inside our ship.
Probably.
Like, through space drive.
That's okay. It's now much more efficient to get
Hey,
between
I'm in
floors 2 and 3.
surgery too. This is great.
Cool.
What
So-
about that?
So Dimitri, you are on deck 2 currently, like making sure all the buttons have been pressed correctly for like a successful autopilot flight through drive space, and you probably feel Molly's claws kind of like sink into your shoulder as she's like curled up into her pillbug ball mode and are just like holding onto you and shaking as like frantically as she can.
Hey Molly, what is wrong? Like, ow, like your claws are deep. What the hell?
She says to you in your head, she just says,
I know what it is. This
And
is
then-
Charles again, isn't it?
then you feel a shudder across the ship as like your trajectory
Definitely,
like-
this is Charles again. But
like shakes a little bit as you're like behind the helm. You can see you've been knocked off your trajectory through drive space and have to like frantically panic to adjust the ship to get it back on course.
I did not expect that.
Well, see, Christian, here's the thing. You said on the come down, my powers go wild. All kinds of things happen.
why would you
Thank
say
you for
such
that.
a thing?
Thank you for that
We've
wonderful
had
suggestion.
sort of shattering of the walls and stuff, not being able to nudge ships out of off course in drive space, and a cruiser no less.
You took 3 doses all at once,
I know.
and you're having issues.
Molly,
Yeah.
make it stop.
Oh, okay. Whatever you say. Dr.
Like,
Charles.
I'm like thinking, like, make mental whipping with it or something. I don't know.
Dimitri, are you also getting this interference?
What?
Are you also getting this interference?
I'm getting the whole ship moving. It is getting out of hand.
I thought my sensor array was busted.
Yeah, it is. I think Charles is having fever dreams, God knows what. But he's the only thing I can think of that would punch us around in drive space like that. I do not need us ending up inside the sun.
Pim, if you cycle through the internal ship's cams, you see that all of the walls inside the cargo bay have kind of been buckled inwards, like concave style, like, and it's not looking good for the floor or the ceiling either.
Indians.
Oh dear.
So,
All humans, there appears to be danger. I'm not sure of what kind, but I do suggest getting a vac suit ready.
So, back to Dr. Charles. You have just created this like psychic wave, pushed everybody back. Most of the people to the periphery of this of the shambling ghoulishness have just been forced out of the vessel. And as you kind of like catch your breath and look around, you see they're all just pouring back in again, dragging themselves forward, saying, "Is that the best you can do? You are a failure. You're a miserable failure. I have no son." And then Molly arrives. She's just floating next to you in this weird space, and if she could, it's like she's holding her front like mandibles over her ear holes, and it's just like. And she says to Dr. Charles, "You need to stop! Dimitri said you need to stop!"
At this point, all Molly sees is Charles curl up into a ball.
Okay.
And he stays that way.
Okay. all of the ghouls and monsters around you keep on crawling and end up just completely surrounding you. And you go from a somewhat incorporeal ghost into just a regular person in a coma, having the literal worst nightmare anyone has ever had in their entire life.
For Charles, it's like people rearranging things in his room, touching his hair, wearing clothes that don't match, speaking rudely, all these things.
All those things are occurring as he is surrounded by people telling him what a miserable, useless failure he is. Okay.
Anyone that's in that room is in danger.
So, Molly returns like to your side, Dimitri, psychically, and says, "I think it stopped."
What's going on in that man's head?
I'll show you a picture if you like. And she just like gives you a mental image of what I just described.
Do I get sound as well?
Yes.
Ugh. Oh no! Stop! That's his worst nightmare for Charles. Molly, what can you do to help him?
Anything I do to help puts the ship at risk. I understand why this is happening.
I don't understand why it's happening either. Can you... Like, anything you do puts ship at risk. Anything you don't do puts ship at risk because Charles is too powerful.
You get at this point the helm gets a call from Medical Bay, and it's Dr. Lucy saying, "I'm trying to prep for surgery here, and everything's floating." Is somebody messing with the anti-gravs?
No.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to send a few of my echoes to your location to check on Dr. Charles. I do suggest getting yourself a vac suit, just in case.
Dr. Charles appears to be in the grip of a nightmare.
I'm going over to the other medical suite, and hopefully it'll be safer over there. I'll grab a vac suit on the way. Call me if anyone needs help. And she hangs up.
Damn it,
Dimitri,
she's
do
gone.
you think you can take full control over flying the ship? I hate to say this, but this is time sensitive.
Duh, fly the ship. Like, all I'm doing is keeping buttons pressed at the moment.
Very well. I'm going to have to commit 100% of my attention to the ship and stopping it from exploding, while some of my attention will have to go on treating Dr. Charles.
I'm going to the medical bay.
Okay. You make your way back down the main hallway and pass all of the crew quarters, ride the elevator up one floor, and then step out and go to the medical bay. What's everybody else doing at this time?
Catalina.
I assume
Sorry, you go.
I'm unconscious.
Well, like you guys hadn't actually entered surgery yet. Dr. Lucy was just prepping the theater for the surgery. I'm just going to call you later, but since
Then
you guys...
again, I can see Darius getting bored and just going, can't wait anymore.
just like... So, you and Lockie are both still conscious, but are like waiting for a call from Dr. Lucy for the surgery to begin. And then you feel the ship jostle and things.
Dr. Lucy, I assume I would be heading that direction, and I would go and get her first.
Yeah. You probably catch her going between medical suites. She's like, yes, no need to be alarmed. Everything...
No, it's all good. Look, I think Anton knows, sorry, not Anton, Dimitri knows what's up. Whatever the anesthetics you're about to give to me to knock me out, can you give me, like, a syringe full of them and maybe twice as strong?
Yes? I
Yeah,
don't
thanks.
think that's a good idea, though.
Well, I mean, either we knock him out or stop these psychic things from happening, even if it kills him or puts him in a coma, or this ship is going to get ripped apart in the middle of drive space.
Psst, he's already in a coma.
He's already in a coma.
Well, let's stop his brain from functioning for a bit.
That would cause me to die.
I'm sorry?
Do you reckon you can make him brain dead for a short amount of time?
How long are we going to be in drive space for?
3 days. She says, I'll do my best if you really think we should. I don't know much about psychics.
I don't know shit either, but if we can buy 5 minutes to at least get this ship out of drive space and somewhere safe, maybe we won't end up in the void.
Brandon. Like, she was like racking her brains for ideas and like pulls out a tablet and is all like, what drugs do I have on me? I'll see what I can cook up.
Sounds good. Let's have some fun.
Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna open ship comms then, and just go. Hey, guys, I got a bit of an idea of something that we can probably do to stall this, but it might kill Charles.
Yet.
No.
Yet I'm on the way to the medical bay to sort this shit out.
Well, I mean, if we don't do something quick. All right. Yeah, you know what, Dr. Lucy, scratch that for the moment. Dimitri says he's got a plan.
She has like 5 different syringes in her hand and is like, okay, please back.
I just pause for a few seconds and just go, actually, you know what? Mix it anyway. Just don't give it to him yet.
You better reimburse me for this. And she starts it. Okay, so at this point...
Consider the fact that the ship won't explode as a result of what you might be doing. Consider that the reimbursement.
the ship. At this point, Dimitri, you make it up to deck 1 and are there alongside Darius and Lucky.
Hang on, sorry. I looked completely zoned out. Where am I?
You are on deck 1, kind of like here, next to Darius and Lucky, as he's like barking orders at Dr. Lucy and like talking it into his compound, or like talking out loud to his brain.
Darius, we're going to try religion.
Oh, fuck. You know what, Lucy? Mix the syringes.
No. Like, my religion is like, I'm a monk, man. I can, there are people in my religion who are known to meditate and reach spiritual world. Like, I'm going to try this. And
You know
I have
what?
Molly
You've
to
got
assist
5 minutes before I stab him with this cocktail.
Make
Are
it
you
10.
trying to tell me that there's a possibility that you are psychic?
Yet.
Fine,
It's
let's make it
different.
10. Be quick.
Okay,
I'm curious to see if God
Cool.
exists.
so are you going to go into the medical bay where everything's floating around?
Duh.
Okay, you open up the door, and as you do, a full catheter just like floats, or like a full waste bag just like floats past your head, out of the room, and like it's like there's no gravity in here because everything's just like aimlessly floating around, including Dr. Charles and his bed. And like as soon as you step inside, you are also like aimlessly floating.
Cool. I float closer to him.
Oh.
Sit.
You just like
throw my legs up and cross. Just
Yep.
sit. Maybe I sit
Mhm.
on the end of the bed or in between his legs or something like that.
Mhm.
Touch his skin and start concentrating, like emptying my mind, meditation style.
Can you please make me a religion check?
That is 9.
9. Okay, you've done this before, many a time. At first, it was quite a time-consuming process to reach the
Zen state.
Zen state you need to be in, but you've done this for a while and probably got some good practice in while you were like flying an empty shuttlecraft to and fro. So it doesn't take you long to just zone out, like a few minutes tops, and you are just like floating in this calming white empty void with like the vague impression of trees and nature kind of around you, but like very subtle.
I have a mind palace,
Oh, you do have a mind palace. Okay.
which is a grove of ancient trees.
Okay. So as you kind of like maintain your concentration, all the weird impressions of trees kind of like get closer to you, and as they do, they take on more color and look more real, and you're there.
Then I'd probably ask Molly to join me or assist me. And be like, Molly, this is welcome to my mind palace. It is construct of my head. Anyway, I reckon you have snuck in here while I wasn't watching. Anyway, we need to bring Charles in here.
Like there's a random like mote of white light just floating around, and as you call out for Molly, it just blossoms into her, and she says, "Maybe it's very nice in here." Okay, I'm gonna go and she reaches out, and something very unusual happens. It's like kind of if somebody took your mind palace and ripped it clean in half. There's like a jagged edge where it ends, and it's like the space behind this layer is occupied by Dr. Charles. So there's a very abrupt, like psychic separation between the two of you, but you can look from your grove out and see him just like floating in blackness, curled up in the fetal position, sobbing as these ghouls just yell at him.
I call his name.
Okay,
Charles.
Dr. Charles, roll me a perception check. He doesn't seem to respond. It seems quite loud over there.
What's your middle name? What's your whole name? I call that your whole name, Dr. Charles, whatever the fuck it is.
Charles Barker.
What's
Charles, whatever the fuck it is. Okay.
It's always Dr. Charles, Dr. Charles. I never remember this shit.
Hang on a second. What is a good middle name for Dr. Charles? Let's think about this.
James.
For a second.
James. James.
Algernon? How about Algernon? That's a very English name. Charles Algernon Barker.
Could be like Colin, Douglas, Edgar, George, Harold, Ian, James.
George already.
Oliver, Adam.
I feel like he's a
No.
Gavin.
Charles Gavin
Gavin?
Parker. No.
What do you think?
I think Algernon because I like the name. And it's super old English, that one.
How about Florence?
No.
Or Francis. Charles Francis.
It's not bad.
Where's Francis?
So,
How do you select middle names in that?
you don't. It's just like,
Just look up a random English
less.
name generator.
yeah. But like, if you want to roll for it, then
Dexter.
then it's just rolling up another first name basically, because most middle names are just first names.
Someone
So
suggests
if you want to
Dexter.
roll,
I like Dexter.
if you
You're
want to
a bit
roll
of a
for it, then
Dexter.
if you want to roll for it, roll a d100. If you want to choose one, then do so.
Charles Dexter Bucks? No, too many R's.
What's my father's name? Shit.
Your father's name is Lewis.
I feel
And
like
so-
that would be
It'd
fitting.
probably be that.
Or your grandfather's name. That's a more common trait, to be honest. Like, kid gets the grandfather's like first name as a middle name.
Elias.
Elias. Okay.
Charles Elias Barker, huh?
That was
Charles
my
Elias.
grandfather's name, I guess. I just
Okay.
picked the first name on here, so I was like, yeah, that'll work. It's either that or Archibald.
I like Archibald.
Charles Archibald Barker.
Cab.
So Charles Elias Barker.
No, we'll go with Archibald. Archibald works.
Okay. Charles Archibald Barker. Okay, so, this time as he calls out your full name, can you roll me another perception check? But this time with
Dr.
advantage?
Charles Archibald Baxter. Baxter?
Barker. Barker.
I'd like to delegate this to Evan Backstabber.
So-
Follow me, bastard.
That's Dr. Charles Archibald Barker, MD, PhD.
Stop groveling.
Apparently, these ghosts are really fucking loud.
What was your best roll?
That was double twos.
For
Dude.
both rolls? Because
Oh,
I gave you advantage.
oh, did you? Okay.
Yes.
I didn't hear that part. That was a 1 and a 3.
Wow. He's just not responding, and Molly says, would you like me to try and get him closer?
Sure.
Okay. And she just like reaches out psychically. It's not bad. So Dr. Charles, you're just kind of like being bombarded felt very stable and static on all sides, but you're slowly drifting, like slowly in one direction, kind of like pinwheeling, and you can ever so slightly hear Dr. Charles Archibald Barker just being yelled across the noise of everybody else around you.
I open my eyes.
You can see just occasionally past the whirlwind of motion occurring in front of you, like all these ghouls flying past you. Occasionally there's a gap, and you can see Dimitri in this beautiful, serene-looking half of a glade just yelling out at you.
I weakly try to crawl through the ghost towards the glade.
Roll me telekinesis.
They're going to take more than the last 2 times they rolled. That's a basic 7 plus 2.
Okay. Well, I only got a 4 plus 2 to oppose you, so you are able to make like weak psychic progress. You kind of do like half freestyle, half like doggy paddle, like psychic, pushing yourself through the air, and are getting gradually closer and closer to the divide that separates you.
I'm going to move right to the edge, and I'm going to reach a hand across into his dark space. I'm going to say, Dr. Charles Archibald Barker, I need your assistance in helping you to escape from your nightmare.
You both roll. Actually, can Dimitri roll religion? Dr. Charles, roll me telekinesis one more time.
It's a 9 again. Mm-hmm. That's actually the 6 that I rolled before. 63.
That's a 8. Yes, 8 with the pluses.
Okay. The two of you successfully link hands. And just as you do, there is a very violent tug from Dr. Charles's direction as the forces holding him inside pull back, and Dimitri, you are at risk of being pulled into his realm as opposed to the other way around.
Molly, can you lend me your strength? We need to yank him from this darkness.
I'll do my best. She can't manage it. She's like it's too loud over there, and she can't help.
If at all I feel he's about to be pulled into the dark, I'm going to let go.
Okay, well, so your concern is a possibility, Dimitri. You feel him trying to let go, and I will give you both one more attempt at a roll to escape this before he gets pulled back in.
Ah, that was shit.
That's double 8 for 10.
Can I reroll this one?
You can, yes. It's a skill check.
6 and 3. These dice are weird.
Well,
I rolled double ones and then 6 and 3.
I only rolled a 6 total. So Molly's kind of just floating around, panicking, alarmed behind you, going, "Oh God," and you feel this like surge of strength through you, and you just pull and pull and pull, and Dr. Charles, you are pulled completely free of your nightmare, and are now just like curled up in a ball, surrounded by pretty trees and nice smelling grass.
Gentle light from weed sun in weed direction bathes the glade. There's flowers and
I probably, like, as I get pulled across the threshold, probably just collapse onto the ground. Like, yeah, there's no energy there at all.
I imagine up some tea.
Your favorite blend appears in your hand.
It is not matcha and it is not green tea. They're terrible.
Mhm.
It is Russian caravan. Hints of spice from the Far East. And I wafted under Charles's nose.
He sort of like struggles to get up and sort of like sits in the grass, just sort of like he'll grab the cup, put it next to him, and then just sit there with his hands sort of on his head and just sort of, yeah, that's all you see.
You were in my memory palace. This is where I come when I wish to meditate and to escape. And also where I don't know, like when I'm feeling sad, I come here, that makes me feel better. I've been doing this for at least 20 years. That is why it is so well constructed. When I first started, it was dirt and a stick. I think it had 2 leaves. I do not quite understand how this is working, but I'm guessing that you are inside my head at the moment. And where you were before was in your head, because I'm pretty sure those goals were constructs of your imagination. They were saying some pretty nasty things, and most of them I think are not true. You do what...
All of them were correct.
Yes, but correct is not always right. You do what you can with the... Like, everybody must make hard decisions at times. Sometimes you have to save yourself over saving someone else. Plus, you know, sometimes white lies is what you need to do, like with your mother. You love her, you don't want her to feel bad, but you don't say, hey mom, your cooking is fucking terrible. You go, it was really nice, and then you pour it into pot plant. And she
You're
goes
going
on
to
living a lie, true, but he's a happy lie. You cannot make... You have to make decisions sometimes, and sometimes it is not always the best decision, but it is always the right decision. Unless, you know, I'm mistaken in you and you're an evil person.
You mean the right decision? That means every time I've made a choice, someone's gotten hurt.
That is life. Not everyone cannot be hurt all the time.
I was meant to be better.
Yet, you cannot be better, you can try for better.
Again,
Now it is up to
you
you.
don't understand.
Oh, duh. I don't understand. I haven't lived around and like seen people die and make decisions about the people and all this other kind of shit. No, I've never done anything like that. You are just a
haven't-
man, Charles. You are not a god. You are not omniscient. You cannot know the outcome of every decision that you make. You can only try to make the right one. And if it doesn't turn out to be the best decision, then it's not the best decision. That is life. Don't make me kick you. I'd probably hurt my toe. Also, I'm taking off my pants. Fuck you.
I didn't hurt anyone on the ship, did I?
Yet. You did not. Well, as far as I know. Maybe you just get the cockroaches in the cargo hold. I know they're there because Molly keeps sneaking off to eat them. She comes back into my... never mind. Anyway. This... like, explain to me, like, what happened. Like, you in cargo hold, everything was fine. We went into drive space and then ship started wobbling around and doing stupid shit.
I've been hearing voices.
Voices? Like telepathic voices?
Like the voices of every single person that I've failed. That has died because of choices I made.
Guilty conscience. You need to see priest. Like unload soul.
No.
Duh. Obviously you have a heavy soul burden that you were carrying around with you, and it is now using this weakness in you at the moment, because normally you were, like, you know, quite strong in the metal area. Area is not right. Anyway, I can't think of right word. At the moment you are in a wicked state, so guilty conscience is coming to kick your ass. But it is dangerous for ship also. So maybe you just need to confess. Apologize. As I said, you're not God. You're not a God. You're just a man. You have mother and father who love you very much.
That's the thing.
What?
I'm not sure if I do anymore. Now.
Because...
friend with her premonitions. And I can't even talk to my father. I can't even send a message.
Maybe when we
what's
stop
going
in
on
the
on
next system, you
Elfsters.
can. Maybe there will be messages for you. Who knows? She's not right all the time. She's not even right half the time.
If it wasn't for her, we would have lost Pim and Darius. And
Duh. But if it wasn't, well, I mean, like, I assume, I guess that she told the people not to go to that planet for a reason.
I should have stayed with them when they were getting their surgery. Just like I
Duh,
did
maybe
with
you should have
Tavern.
stayed with them. Maybe, you know, they would have knocked you out anyway. You don't know. Maybe they really wanted this so much that they would have taken any means. They might have killed you instead. And then we would have lost Pim, everything would be shit, and we would have had nothing. Even I would be going, well, fuck it. No point living anymore. Crash ship into planet.
Yes, and we all see how well I survived at it. Yet again.
Fuck. Why are you so sorry for yourself? Like, what happened to strong Charles Barker who, you know, stands up for his friends and fights off the bad guys and kicks ass? Now I have groveling, pathetic wimp.
At that point, there's a sharp telekinetic punch straight to your gut.
Oh no.
I don't know how well that works in my memory palace.
Well,
I don't know how well that transfers to the real world.
you can both, Dr. Charles, roll telekinesis, Dimitri, roll religion.
8, 9, 10.
7.
Okay. the punch goes through in this space, and for a moment, Dr. Charles, both the Mind Palace and Dimitri kind of begin to like flicker out of existence, and the darkness that you were freed from seems to be trying to make its way back in, but he's able to maintain his composure enough to reconstitute them both and stay present.
Maybe you should not do that, but that is more the fire that I'm looking for. You need to fight this. We will not win against the darkness if you lay down and roll over and let it fuck you. You need to make peace with yourself in whatever way you think is the best. But letting the darkness win is not the way to do it. We all make mistakes. That is part of being human. We make mistakes, we atone for it in the best way that we can. If you want to be a monster, you make mistakes, you don't give a fuck. You go on to make more mistakes and fuck everybody. But you, Dr. Charles, are not a monster. Come on, get up.
You don't
Walk with
know
me.
my history.
Oh.
You're not apt enough to make the assumption that I'm not a monster.
Okay, tell me all the monstrous things you have done. And then tell me all the good things you have done. Life is about balance, like scales of good and evil. How many planets have you wiped out? How many children have you murdered? How many diseases have you let loose on the world? How many banks have you robbed? How many times have you sped in your speed car?
Don't drive.
Okay, fine, you don't drive. How many times have you walked too fast? How many little old ladies have you helped across the road? How many times have you told your mother that her cooking is amazing? How many times have you helped your father? How many times have you researched techniques that have helped people?
How many times have, because of mistakes that I made, killed 25 people that were
What 25
part
people?
of my team when researching spike drives?
Duh. And how many of those people chose to be there? And knew the dangers that were possible?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does matter. They
It
made
is
the
my
choice
fault
to
that
be
it
there.
happened.
It could have been any of them. Any of them could have made a mistake that killed 25 people. You were dealing with technology none of you fully understood. Mistakes happen, people die. That is how the world works. Do you shoot first? Do you run? Do you kill the people on purpose?
I'd prefer not to kill anyone, but being here and being part of this crew has not given me much of a choice.
Duh, because quite often we get shot at first. My preference is not to kill people either, but I don't like dying either.
At this point, it's been about 10 minutes. Darius, your syringe is ready.
Has all the fucked up shit stopped?
The weird aimless floating that was occurring has ceased. Currently, the only two things floating in the room are Charles and Dimitri.
I mean, I'm just going to turn to Lockie and just go, I mean, like, close enough to normal?
He's just gonna kind of like, what's normal to him is, and a psychic, he doesn't really know.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think Charles owes me one anyway, so I'm gonna go put this in the drug replicator.
It's currently making regalia.
Oh, I'd noticed that. And then go, oh, bugger, and leave it.
I think it's done by now. So if you want to, you can just put it in the drug replicator.
Okay, I'll put it in my fucked up death cocktail and just go, yeah, I'm gonna want some of this for later anyway. Might as well.
Okay,
Later, after Charles
What
wakes
are
up,
you
he's like,
planning on doing later?
Between him and
never
his
you
drugs.
mind.
So now you don't. You no longer have the dose, but now the drug replicator has broken it down and now knows the precise chemical makeup of it, and you can tell it to make more if you want.
Would it tell me the exact level of what effects it would do to someone?
All it gives you is the complete
Chemical breakdown.
the complete
Right,
chemical
cool.
breakdown.
Yeah, okay, no issues.
Okay. Dr. Charles, since you're the one who keeps track of what that compiler can do, can you add to the list horrifying death cocktail?
Okay, death cocktail. Give me one sec.
You're just going to be going through the settings later, and you'll find one that's just like named in camel casing, because that's how Darius would organize everything. That's just, lol, this will fuck someone up.
How many? What does it cost to produce?
A bit.
Hopefully too much.
It's made out of all basic materials, so it'd be somewhere in the ballpark.
80 credits.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's cheap.
It's just like random drugs that she had on her hand and was all like, okay, let's like mix some stuff together.
Chemistry is
And-
fun.
That's-
Okay.
80 credit death cocktail.
Mm-hmm. So the camera wipes to the right, and we're back in the Mind Palace.
I've left him to grovel.
Okay, so are you like you still need to be concentrating to?
Yeah, no, I'm still there. No, I'm just saying I've walked away from him to hug trees.
Okay, so you're doing your regular like reciting prayers.
Yeah, I'm doing my Mind Palace maintenance as such.
Yeah.
The one that I'm meant to do it every day, but I've been a bit remiss. So I'm
Of course.
pulling out weeds.
Some of the trees are overgrown.
Pulling weeds and stripping flowers and patching flowers and whatever else I feel like.
How long do you think this time in the Mind Palace would persist? Dr. Charles, because he is currently is making an active effort, bolstered by Molly, to keep you mentally stable. So it's a question of if you're prepared to listen to what he has to say.
Mental effects save?
Go for it.
Yeah, no. That's a 2.
Oh no! You are in the depths of despair, my friend. It's not going well.
Depression is fun.
And you don't feel like anything he's saying to you is the truth. He's just saying it because you don't know why he's saying it. But it can't be true.
He's saying it just because it's either that or I'm going to end up destroying part of the ship and killing someone. It's the way to keep me under control. That's what it is in Charles's mind.
Oh no.
I'm like, does he say something or do something? Because Dimitri just wants to walk over there and say, "Ha! No wonder nobody wants to sleep with you, you miserable piece of shit."
Yeah. So, if things have calmed down in there, you can probably maintain your mind palace with the help of Molly for long enough for surgery to occur. So we're going to cut across to Darius and Lockie once more. The second surgical suite has been prepared. She's going to do it on Darius first, and is going to allow Lockie to sit in. Like, she knows you're a bit like not of a TL4 world, so if you want, she's prepared to like explain exactly what she's doing while she's doing it, to perhaps put you more at ease.
I will appreciate that greatly.
So she basically has Darius on the table, has all the cloths ready, and says, "Okay, Darius, are you ready?"
Yep, go for it.
Okay. She injects a syringe of knockout juice, and you go under.
It's not death cocktail, is it?
No.
Just making sure.
Now, she turns to you, Lockie, and says, "So, I will need to give him a bit of a haircut for this. So, what shape do you think he would enjoy?"
Fucking mohawk.
Actually, that's what I was going to go for.
Actually, most of my hair is implanted anyway, so...
Yeah. Like, he's just like, Mo.
She trims where she needs to up one side to actually get to where it's implanted, and then hands you the trimmer to do the other side for symmetry's sake.
Perfect.
Shave it up. It's a nice crisp mohawk, about like this wide.
He will do his best to actually make it look good.
Okay.
And while
I'm not
he's
gonna be-
dressing in leathers and boots, yeah?
I'm not going to be mean and say artist, so just roll me a flat dexterity. So just roll me 2d6 plus your dex modifier to see how well you're able to do it.
Don't know what D6 is it? 5.
Okay,
I mean, it's not hard to do a mohawk.
It's not hard. It's like it's not perfect, but the kind of like weird jagged effect you've put in seems kind of like artistic in and of itself. So you're like, yeah, it's a cool style. So not a crisp line, but like a cool effect.
He's just like, he won't kill me for this.
No, he will not. And then she goes, performs the appropriate incisions around his head, folds back the skin, pulls out like a tiny little like plasma cutter, and begins scoring holes in the skull, and eventually removes that plate.
Rory, just for clarification, I would have asked for all of it to be removed, except poison and the ghost transceiver.
So all of your brain cyberware is coming out?
No, all cyberware full stop, except ghost receiver and poison syringe.
Oh, okay, so even the building
the built-in compad stays, and the poison injector stays.
Okay, fair enough. So she would therefore probably cut a larger hole to get to the various different points, and then she just goes through the process of like carefully identifying all of the different wires and connectors. She has this like colored spray. She like sprays into the into the air and gets on one of her tools, and as she like carefully moves it around the brain, it's like microscopic magnetic particles that kind of adhere to the cyberware to kind of inform her where it is. And she then like carefully finds out where it's connected, and then will remove them all one at a time, very carefully but very steadily, and then just one by one slides out all the cyberware pieces. She makes she dunks them in a big a beaker of solution that just eats the blood and viscera immediately, and then just takes it away, puts it aside, and there's a fresh, clean piece of cyberware sitting on the table next to her. As she's doing this, she asks if you have any questions at all.
He's just kind of looking with kind of morbid fascination. I mean, this kind of stuff is like so far beyond his level of knowledge, but he has seen, the surgeons on his planet do kind of similar stuff, but to a much lower tech level.
Yeah.
And it was probably more of a hack to try and just keep the person alive, put a metal plate on the head and stuff.
Like their brain is swelling due to internal bleeding. Take a power drill, drill a hole in their skull, and allow the pressure to equalize.
Yeah. I don't think he would have any questions, really. I think he's just kind of sitting there silently trying to take in what's happening.
She's talking you through the entire procedure, and after probably a few hours, she is done. And all the cyberware that Darius requested removed is just sitting off to one side, wrapped in sterilized cloth, and she then just like takes the piece of skull, puts it back in, and then uses the same tool to like partially cauterize, partially like reattach the skull piece, folds the scalp back over, sprays it all down, and does some like really fine stitches around the incision. Then is it up and sets him to one side for recovery. After that's done, she says, "I'm going to get myself a quick snack and some coffee, but I'll be right back to remove yours, okay?"
Right.
She leaves and leaves you alone in the room with Darius for about 15 minutes, then comes back, drying her hands from the bathroom, and is prepared to operate on YouTube.
Alright, let's just get this over and done with. So the only part I want removed, though, is the what's it called? The submersion, identity submersion.
The submersion trigger. She says, yes. Well, I have an accurate map of all of your other cyberware, and now that I know what it is, I know what part of your brain to look at while I go to extract it. So while I'm not sure exactly where it is now, I'm sure I'll see it once I'm in there. Okay?
All right. Let's get this over and done with.
You hop up on the bed, anesthetized, and Pim, who is of course watching, can, if he chooses to, have a recording of the brain surgery to show Lockie later and be like, "Oh, look at that! There's your brain."
I think he would appreciate that, because then he would be able to see that 100% that bloody thing is gone.
Yeah, Pim would probably do that. He'd also probably talk to Dr. Lucy while Lockie's under. Do you think we can change the room around a bit when he wakes up and say that he's been in a coma for 10 years?
She's like just removed his like skull piece and set it aside, and she says, "As long as you don't interfere with the surgery, go nuts."
I need to apply makeup to some people coming from the corridor.
by all means, Pim, you can do what you like. Ooh, there it is. Okay. She reaches in and locates it.
What are you doing to me, Pam? What are you doing?
He's poking your brain so your legs bounce up and down.
When will I get this opportunity again?
He always wanted to be a puppet master.
Did he? That's currently what DOTAC is.
No, Pim.
Thanks.
Pim Tech.
Hmm.
Pim Dope.
Okay. So there is surgery occurring and ongoing. We'll move it back to the Mind Palace. Dimitri, can you make me a religion? Actually, no. Make me a mental effects save, because you are exerting quite a bit of effort to maintain this, and you may not have done it this long before. So it's kind of taxing you mentally.
I just have to roll higher than my.
Yep.
18 versus the 20.
Okay, excellent. You are powering through the struggles and have now completed all of the maintenance you have been putting off in here over the past few days or weeks. But it seems as though Dr. Charles is still in the depths of despair and is not really responding to you.
Charles. Listen to me, Charles. I made the mistake of leaving my planet, of running away, thinking that I could do better from space, that it would be better for me and for my family for me to leave, and people have died. I've taken people to places that are maybe not safe for them. They might have died. But they chose to do that. Your team members chose to work with you. Your team members understood the risks. I doubt any of them went in there going, oh yes, it's going to be great because, you know, Dr. Charles Parker's in charge and everything's going to be great and we're all going to get big fat cash rewards and medals or something. It's theoretical science, duh? It is not absolute. You do not have the answers, otherwise you would not be doing it. I can't make you better. The only person who can make you better is you. You have to want to be better. Do you want to be better? You strive for excellence, yes?
I want to be better, but I'm not sure I can do it here.
And they will take you back to Elftis. We are already a taxi service. Sometimes. If you think you can do better on Elftis, so that is the only way, the only place that you can make a difference, that is a positive effect in your life, then we will take you back to Elftis.
At the moment, I need to make sure I don't destroy the ship while I try to recover.
Then you need to work out some way to fight your demons. Because at the moment they are winning, except you're in here. So you need to acknowledge that you have made mistakes, but you are not, as I said, omniscient. You cannot know the outcome of every decision made by everybody. Even my gods do not do that. They just let humans do what they like. Just try to guide them on a better path.
Yes, gods.
Oh, sorry. That's right. I am just from dumb planet, and you are from, technologically enlightened. But it does not always fix your soul. I'm maybe not as religious as I once was. Because I've been to the stars where I thought I would find my gods and they weren't here. So, shit happens.
Another mental effect save, Dr. Charles.
One last thing. In our story, the gods have made mistakes too. Like they let humans have fire. That was just a stupid idea.
That was a lie.
It's not your day.
No. I got a
No,
couple
first
of
he had
good
carries
rolls. The
45
rest of them
kilo
are like,
desk up the stairs by himself, and can't find his dice, etc., etc.
Should have let me roll it.
probably. Actually, I might get you to roll the next
Hey.
one because
I was gonna say, isn't there a re-roll in the system?
Yeah.
There is actually, yes.
If
Somebody picked one. Would you like to redeem the reroll, Dr. Charles?
sure. Alice, can
If
you
you wouldn't
please
mind.
re-roll this?
alright. So D20, correct?
D20, and you need to get a 12 or higher.
Yes.
Nope. That's a 3.
Oh, it's even worse.
Not having a lot of luck breaking out of my funk.
It's not meant to be, man. Sorry.
Um,
Do I see Charles like rolling dice?
You break the fourth wall from your mind palette. You look up, see Christian.
No, Christian. Like, just Charles, like rolling the dice of fate or something. I don't know.
You can, like, with Molly's presence and assistance there, you can like get a sense that he is genuinely struggling with what you're saying to him, and it's penetrating. Just it's perhaps not fully landing. So you're having an effect. Just he's a bit too deep in the depths of despair to be pulled out. Right.
I was stuck in my dream state for too long.
Okay, I have a new plan. Take off your clothes.
That is not happening.
No, take off your clothes. I need you to feel the dirt. Be one with nature. I know it is construct in my head, but still, it is the truest representation of nature that I can give.
I put my hand on the dirt next to me and like dirt felt.
It is not the same. Take off your clothes.
That is not.
If you like, I will go behind tree over here so I can't see you.
You hear the voice of Molly say, "Yeah, do it! I never wear clothes. It's great."
I will give you a girdle of leaves to wear. And nobody can see you but me. What have you got to lose?
The fact that you might tell someone. And let me just remind you, remember what I did to the ship?
Yeah, but you were naked at the time. So I think if you were naked, it'd be much better. Better outcome.
I can't breathe.
Damn it, Mikhail! Tell you what, I'll take off my shoes.
Okay, that is good start.
I then proceed to untie my shoes and take my socks off and put them off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now wiggle your toes in this oil.
This is reminding me of the scene from Die Hard. The guy on the plane tells him how to get over flight anxiety. It's like, walk on some carpet and make fists with your toes.
Kind of, yeah. It's also reminding you a bit of your childhood, because surely Dr. Charles wasn't always a stiff upper lip. I'm sure at times in his youth he had that crazy group of friends who was running around in parks, being silly, having adventures.
Oh yeah,
So
but that was many years ago.
it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so maybe you need to think of your childhood. Think of happier times. Were you happy as a child?
Yes, I lived on Elftus.
Cool, come over here and hug this tree. His name is Bert.
Sorry, what?
What? I named the trees in my memory palace. It's not that old. This one is Bert, the one next to him is Igor, and then we have... Ah, it doesn't matter.
Francis. Theodore.
Wade.
Yep.
They're all named after people that you've worked with or ferried.
One of them named Sarah. He stopped attending it ever since he met his third VI.
Wait, if
I'll go over and put my hand on the tree. I'm not going to hug it.
No, you need to hug it. It might hug you back if it likes you enough.
If it hugs me back, I'm
Yes.
running back to the creepy ghost people.
Oh, come on, it is just a tree. Trees are nice people.
so, you reach out and just place your hand on the tree, and by the nature of a mind palace, it's constructed from Dimitri's memories. So, what memory is associated with Bert?
For me,
Yeah.
Bert was an old guy.
Okay.
Like, in his 70s. He was a miner. Not, like
A miner in
yeah.
the 70s, wow.
He was a gold miner. He went, he was one of those crazy mad prospectors that went, oh, I hear there's gold on planet Whoop, and he went off there to dig gold. And he'd done that for 50 years. So he was weathered, rough, bright twinkly eyes and a bit of a mischievous smirk, but old as the hills, but young of mind.
So, to Dr. Charles, you reach out, you touch this tree, and you get the image of this old guy called Bert, who was just like perpetually optimistic, always hoping and reaching for the next big score, the next step, and you feel some of that optimism beginning to rub off on you just a little bit. It's comforting to connect with this memory.
Okay, that is Bert. What did you think of Bert?
He seems happy.
His bark is worse than his bite.
Bad you. And it was. He had a sense of adventure about him. Like he was always looking for the next planet to explore or whatever. Anyway, come meet Igor.
Walk over and place my hand on the next tree, I guess.
It's Igor.
Igor was going home.
Oh.
Igor, yeah, he was just going home. He didn't tell me much about where he'd come from, but he was going home to his family. He'd made some money somewhere or somehow. You know, easy job, but I didn't get a lot of detail. But obviously, he made an impression on me.
Igor was very thankful. You got the impression of that. I'd say the main thing that rubbed off on you, Dimitri, from Igor was that he was the message the two messages you overheard him send to his family. One he sent as he was boarding and you were taking off, and the second one he sent as he arrived. And both were very loving and heartfelt and emotional. You suspect Igor was quiet because he's not a very confident flyer. So the departure message was, "If this is the last you hear of me, I love you," and all that jazz. And then his arrival message was just full of relief and happiness and anxiety to see his family again.
Do you understand, Charles, who these trees are?
Your memories of people.
Ah. Real people that I have traveled with, or transferred, or taken to where they wanted to go. Taken on the next step in their life. There was the Catalina tree somewhere. There is a Papadias tree here also. There's the pim tree. It is made of metal. It's really weird.
I walk over to Dimitri. I think of a memory from the clinic.
Yep.
Of a 6-year-old girl that I did, whose parents I had told that they had to come into the clinic the day of the attack, and then finding her body in the rubble afterwards. And I placed my hand on his head and basically tried to push the image across.
Molly is there to facilitate, and you two are very interconnected at the moment. So Dimitri, immediately you are
There.
You are there. You're standing in the rubble. There's portions of wall that have fallen down around you. People are screaming and running. There's blood coming from people's faces and limbs as they just escape. You can see a large, monstrous creature rampaging through the streets, being shot at by men operating mechs. It's a pretty badass scene if you just focus on the background, but this memory is entirely centered on just the tragedy of it all, and Dr. Charles kind of around a corner, looking up, running out into the street after seeing someone was hurt, and then kind of skidding on his knees to her side and finding her just like partially crushed under a piece of concrete, and just pulling it off and trying to drag her free.
What is going on here, Charles? What is this thing? It's terrible.
These are the impacts that I remember.
What is
My patience. And when I failed to be able to do something.
okay? So you were in control of that big monster over there that destroyed your clinic. You asked for
No.
it to come down and crush your patients.
But this particular patient wouldn't have been anywhere near this part of town that day.
So
If
you
I'd
are
just
saying
taken
that
a few minutes out
you
of
feel
my
responsible. Let me
go
understand
there.
this. You feel responsible for something out of your control. You asked them to come and see you because for medical reasons, huh?
Yes.
Did you know that was a monster walking across town killing people, crushing buildings? Did you ask for it to come down, stop by, and crush some patients of yours? Like, you cannot feel responsible for that. You can feel sadness, you can feel anger, but you cannot feel responsible. Maybe they should have read the news reports that there was a monster rampaging across the city and that the bus was in its path or something.
Those monsters didn't get news reports. They just appeared.
Okay, so how is that your problem? Why is that your fault? I'm sure there was plenty of other people in that street, in those destroyed buildings, that had legitimate reasons to call their customers to come down and see them, and they also died. Tragedy. Duh. 100%. Responsibility? 0. It is not... It is not your fault that she died. It is the fault of the people or the machines that caused it. There is what is not circumstance that I can't think of words, but like I won't say things happen for a reason because that is not always right, but fucking I remember this word in like 3 hours, but right now I cannot. Unlucky circumstance? No, not unlucky. Just
Fate.
maybe. Fate works, but is not best answer. Coincidence, that is word. Unhappy coincidence. She needed to come in with her parents to see you about medical thing that might make her life better. She got stumped by a robot.
You have.
I know it is crass way to say it, but sometimes
broken
blunt is
way of
best.
thinking of human life.
I have seen whole villages killed by disease. Is that fair? Is that nice? No, it is not. From the whole village destroyed by disease. One survivor. One survivor of 400 people. Where did disease come from? We don't know. One survivor of 400 people. I come from a world that is smaller population, and it is hard to survive at times. Life is not guaranteed. Life is not certain. Shit happens. We can't always get to the best outcome. Like, you take the happiness where you can.
Can you both make me another mental effect save, please?
No.
No?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So at this moment, as you're just instilling within him all of these important lessons and memories and wisdom, you feel your concentration beginning to struggle and fade, and you have to fade out of this. But as you go, you feel like you've left a little something behind. And Dr. Charles, as the darkness kind of slides back in around you, you think back to what he said, and among all the voices saying such unpleasant and negative things, there's now one pleasant one. The voice of Dimitri is no longer insulting your drinking capacity. It's trying to bolster you and is saying kind words and is repeating some of the things that he has said to you during your time in his mind palace. And you can choose to listen to them if you want.
Yes.
Dimitri, you kind of like stumble out of midair and like hastily put your legs back under you as you leave your mind palace, and can see that everything in the medical bay is floating ever so slightly, but not churning around.
Better than it was.
Molly, I think I've made a bit of difference.
Two.
Perhaps he will struggle out on his own now.
Fingers crossed. And she like tries to cross her claws, but can't.
Crossed her antenna across or something. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just imagine her going fingers crossed and crossing everything and then falling off. So she's not holding on anymore.
Yeah, basically. And just before we wrap up and head out, I want to cut across to Catalina. What have you been doing this whole time?
Catalina, after she started feeling better from that meeting, or after that meeting, she decided, alright, gonna stop wallowing. Time to do something. And she's gonna start tinkering. She's gonna be working on trying to replicate the EMP that she blew up previously.
Okay.
But she will not tell anyone, nor will she make any... She will not make any plans that make any sense to anyone except for her. And she's trying to keep this on the super, like, cryptic level.
Down low, sly.
No, just cryptic as possible.
Oh, that is a scratchy noise.
Sorry, it's me. I just headed outside for a walk.
Oh,
I'm
good.
still here, though. Sorry.
Okay.
Fair enough. Catalina, please roll me tech post-tech to see how your progress goes in this initial attempt.
Post-tech?
Yep.
With intelligence?
Yep.
11.
You've done this in a very intelligent way. you're trying to keep it obscure and weird what you're doing. So basically, you've broken it down into the barest possible components, and are just building one thing at a time. So it's like, I need a power source. I'll design that. I need to create the coils or whatever. I'll design that, and it's intentionally structured as very separate thoughts, and doesn't really look like anything.
And if anyone asks or like query, like looks at her a bit oddly, she just makes it look like she's just randomly tinkering to pass the time.
Okay. Just in the workshop, tinkering away, kind of in a bit of dismay as you poke your head out and see the concave walls of the cargo bay from when Dr. Charles was in there. But you're just quietly tinkering away, probably occasionally hearing an update from him over the speakers about what's going on in the decks above you.
Yep. And she'll still be spending time when she's not tinkering, so probably like before bed or when she wakes up, doing the designs for the eye implants.
Indeed.
Working on the designs for that.
Aiming for a more streamlined look.
Yeah, something absolutely as invisible as possible, or as lifelike as possible, with like the eye covers as well. Like, you know what, she asked for like the glass eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks more like real eyes as opposed to digital.
Of course. So
just quickly, I go and get a potted plant from the green area.
Yep.
And I take it back to the infirmary and I stick Charles's hand in the dirt.
Oh. Just for the sake of smell, what kind of plant? Because its smell will fill the room as well.
If I'm going for smell, it'll be basil.
Oh,
That's a good plant. Very
that's
cleansing.
so British. Yeah.
It's a good
So-
If I was
cleansing
trying
plant
to be
as
mean,
well.
it'd be something like marigold.
Yes.
Man.
Which means Molly would never go near it because it wards away bugs. But
Yeah.
the smell's not horrible. If I wanted horrible, I'd go for like a jonquil or something.
Basil's great. I have such
Yeah,
fond
it's not
memories
basil.
of basil.
Beautiful smell. So,
It's good food smell.
so as the ship continues to trundle on through drive space, hurtling towards Harbona and Yakuta and more, Darius and Lockie lie in recovery with their wounds slowly healing from the elective surgery. Catalina is sitting in the workshop with the sound of clanking and hammering behind her as various PIMs busy themselves around the ship doing repairs and maintenance. Dimitri, you're probably on the bridge with Molly, hoping that what you did with Dr. Charles works. And Dr. Charles, you're feeling some light beginning to poke through the darkness thanks to the kind words of your friend. And I think that's a good place to end the session.
Hopefully things can be a little less heavy in the coming sessions. We've had so many
Yeah.
heavy sessions lately.
This
Oh
was
my
so
God.
cool, though.
It was.
Like a mind palace
Oh,
and
dude.
cool memories.
That was a great episode. I'm
can't hear
just
you.
like far out. We've had like, the last 4 or 5 sessions of just heavy atmosphere. Oh God.
I hope I've been doing it justice because, damn.
Oh, you've been doing a fantastic job, but damn, I think we need a reprieve.
I love the soundtrack for this as well. It's
Okay, next week the coffee machine breaks and Darius loses his mind. Cool.
The coffee machine's already broken.
he
It's
starts.
just the question is when we run out of coffee beans because you guys stopped buying them. because you would assume that I'm not going to be using them if the coffee machine doesn't exist.
At that point, you just run up to the greenhouse, grab Dimitri, and say, "Where's the coffee plant, old man?"
I mean, I think only Lockie would know because he's got literal access to my brain memories for a period of time. But like, coffee beans are literally starting off a high amphetamine addiction, so that could be problematic.
Well, we need to go ahead and figure out.
Yeah, who are we
rating
rating?
stuff.
Jesus, I'm still like reeling from that session.
Are your brother going?
No, I think they,
No, they're
they
not doing
ended.
tonight. No, they're not doing
Oh,
tonight.
okay.
Let's have a look. I'm opening Twitch.
Christian, we
I
can't
don't
hear
really know any other streamers.
Okay.
No, we
Polish
Uh,
Cryptid, Cypher Pup, Wisdom Saves, Nerds of the West, or Tavern Crawler.
Polish scripted playing D&D.
We've
That
got.
works.
We've also got Hoodums playing Elder Scrolls. There's someone that's come around and watched us previously.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll do. That's
Cool,
all good.
yeah.
The scrolls is nice.
Yeah, and they've only got like 5 people, so I think it'd be nice to do a bit of
Yeah.
a return gesture.
Oh, the scrolls are cool. I like
Absolutely,
these.
yes. Do the thing. Well, everybody, we will see you all next week for episode 50.
Oh god.
Jesus Christo, okay.
And
Wow.
I suspect that on episode 50, the party may actually end up arriving on Yakuta.
Wow.
Wow. It's only
Yes.
taken 50 episodes for us to start the end of the war.
It's taking
mean-
you a while to get close.
It is not end of war, it is just flyby.
Yeah, well, stage 2.
If we decide to leave this sector, this part of the sector, Catalina will stay behind.
Oh no, we're going to drop off the little psychic first.
That's fine. Romney says episode 50, beach holiday episode. We damn fucking need a beach holiday episode.
So we stop off at the same planet with the psychic first. Have each holiday, then move on to Yakuta and Arbona.
Well, here's the thing. It's a tech level 3 planet that's like it's temperate in terms of the temperature, so it's a nice pleasant temperature, and it has a Greek population, so they probably are enjoying the beach.
Go down for a siesta.
Yep.
I mean, like, we're literally in Yakutan-controlled territory with a terrorist, a nationally known terrorist. So, probably
yeah!
not a siesta
but
time.
Rory!
like you have been
Yeah.
you've been out of the loop for a while, like maybe people have forgotten you.
The news. Have we gotten any news of what happened? The leak on the Yakutan information?
Not until
Will-
we run system.
You
I
will
have,
when
a
you run.
feeling I have a feeling he backstabbed me and didn't use it. He just went, I have a better plan.
I know what has happened with that information. It's just a question of whether or not the people who were offended had the means to act on it. Like
Yeah, fair.
in a saga sense. And after what
Knew where to look.
like after what just happened with the clash between Harbona and Yakuta, both sides were a little worn out in regards to their resources. So like sometimes conflict occurs in waves in the faction turn, because like people have to like make money and then spend it on units and then deploy. So they're in the spooling up phase in terms of the faction turn, and are probably going to be able to act on the slight against them soon.
Fair.
Okay.
So let's press the raid button, shall we?
Alright. Button pressed.
Fairly well, everybody. We will return In the next week, also, one last fun fact: this that's been playing the whole time is actually the soundtrack of Dimitri.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay.
It's also known as Haven, and I think that's very appropriate.
All right, ready? Are we ready?
We are ready.
Yes.
Can you give us the soundtrack list, by the way, Rory?
Yeah, sure.